Welcome to another episode of the Andrew Rahman Show. I'm so excited that you tuned in again. You're watching, you're listening, whatever it is. Man, I'm excited to get this going. So, I don't know if you knew this, but one of the things I love about movies, all right? I don't know, are you a Disney fan? By the way, you got Disney Plus yet? You got Disney Plus? Dude, I think everyone has Disney Plus until Mandalorian dropped. Everyone's like, I'm done. They're going to pick it back up. Honestly, I think our family was the same way. I think we dropped. I don't know. My brother has Disney. I think he still kept it. He's one of the few who actually fell for the trap and is now trapped and has to pay for the whole month for it. But I don't know if you got Disney Plus, but either way, dude, the new Star Wars was pretty dope. And I don't know if you're a Star Wars fan, but my whole family grew up as huge Star Wars fans. Like from my mom. One of the things about Star Wars, it's multi-generational. Dude, have you thought about that? Like, my grandpa knows what Star Wars is. There's a couple things that my grandpa can actually relate on. Like, I can't relate about the war. I can't relate about all the weird snacks that they ate back then and like how they drank from the hose. Like, I never did that, but they apparently did. And I just can't, and I don't want to relate with those things. But Star Wars, like I visited my grandpa not too long ago, and I mentioned Star Wars. He's like, I remember when I first went to watch that. I'm like, dude, are you that old? That's crazy. I love my grandpa. Hopefully you love your grandparents. But I actually want to talk a little bit about the Star Wars movie and like all the things that were in it, because I don't care if you don't like Star Wars, but there's actually like a lot of deep things about Star Wars and kind of more superficial things that I thought were like completely unnecessary. Okay, I know my storage is full. Y'all got that problem too? Where your computer's like, iCloud storage is full. Thank you. Charge more money. You know what? Give me more things to save and then charge me money for it. It's a trap. So, Star Wars. So, check this out real quick about Star Wars. One thing I love about Star Wars is all the animal noises or the monster noises. I don't know. Have you ever tried them? I've been working on it. Tell me what y'all think, because I've been working on my voices, like working as enough yesterday, and I feel like this is the gang. This is the next Star Wars gang. They're going to make a show out of this, and I'm going to be the voice actor. Watch. So they have the little guy who's like, don't mess with me, bro. Like that. That's if he spoke English, right? But he doesn't, because it's Star Wars. He'd be like, that's like the little guy, right? And then there's like the tall dude who's more like the leader of the operation, right? He's got a little bit of a grungy voice like this. But there's no character that's cool like if he doesn't have a British accent. Let's just be this serious. Unless you're like Will Smith or something, that you're just amazing just by being Will Smith, then you have to have like an accent. You can't just talk normal. Even the Southern accent is way better than my accent right now. Like, think about this. My name is Andrew. I guessed it for a movie, and now I got to be the Mandalorian. Like, dude, that's only because of his amazing accent. Imagine that. I'm the Mandalorian. It sounds like lame. So, we got right, there's a little guy. Then the tall guy, it's more of a slave master. He's like, you do that one more time, I'm gonna whip you. You hear me? You do that one. I can't do that too often. I feel like I'm a smoker with that voice. And then the last guy, I feel like he's big. He's big and just like, you don't really talk to him type of thing. Like, don't make eye contact with him type of person. And all he says is this. Bah. No, it's got to be low. Like, bah. There it is. That's all he says. All right. That's just a little like I love Star Wars voices and Star Wars. There's so much this new Star Wars. I feel like there had to be more aliens that actually talked, because of course we got excuse me, that was pretty lame. Cut that one out. That was a little bit better. Okay. The first one's a little embarrassing, but I feel like they had a lot of things, dude. I love Star Wars and I love Disney, and it's great, but you kind of have to do a quid pro quo with Disney, because Disney takes over a movie and it makes it insane. Like, the visuals of Star Wars were insane, but at the same time, the messages in the movie were a little bit like a kid needs to get this, And it's cool. If you're a kid and you watched it, I'm glad you watched it. But at the same time, it's like, we got to teach the 5-year-old and have to say it vocally for him. Family. You know, like where's the art in it? You know, it's like, we're in this together, Ray. Poe, we're in this together. They said that like 3 times. Like, I know you said that once, but like you gotta force it. And then there were like certain things where they're in the speedsters and they're doing this, and like C-3PO. You see, if I don't have a British accent, I feel like lame. But C-3PO. Oh no, they're flying now. You know, oh no, they're flying. And then the other person's like, they're flying now. And the last person's like, they're flying now. Okay, that's kind of like, that's pretty kid humor right there. I mean, just a personal, you can tell me, what do you think about the Star Wars? Do you think it had a lot of kid humor that was actually funny, or that was a little bit forced? I thought it had a lot of just forced messages out there, like family, which I love family. You know, okay, there's this one part that I think, script, where's my script writer? Okay, I know you got the job and I did it, and I'm still jealous about that because I'm a terrible script writer. But Lando's in it with Poe, I think, right? And Poe's like, how did you guys do it? You know, you did it with like so little people, and how did you get a whole empire? And he says, because we had each other. Bull. No, you didn't. You had hope, okay? You didn't have each other. I mean, yeah, but what had each other? It was hope. That's why the movie was called A New Hope. It wasn't called The New Family. Yay. It wasn't called that, right? It wasn't. It was just called A New Hope, okay? And look, that's like I asked before, like what do you think are some of the forced messages that were a little bit like, okay, bro, really? If you think about it, the trio, the trinity here of Rey, Poe, and Finn said like 3 times that it's all about family, right? It's all about being together. And then what did Lando say? It's not about hope. It's about being together. I was like, okay, that's cool and all. And maybe you can tell me about your favorite movie. I mean, Lord of the Rings, for example, I love it because Lord of the Rings is beast. It's perfect. It's immaculate. It's, I forgot my words actually. What was I going to say? It's inerrant. It has no mistake. No, it has a lot of mistakes. Actually, think about this. If you've never watched Lord of the Rings movies, watch the movie when they're on top of horses and you can actually see the guy's sword fall off his sheath, like in the middle of the scene. I'm sure that was really awkward. And action! Aragorn, we must ride now. And my sword just fell. Okay, there's like a lot of things. And you can tell me about your favorite movie. Like, what are some awkward moments that you're just like, dude, they totally messed up there? And one thing about Star Wars, though, I mean, forced messages is definitely there. But one thing, here's a deep one. Good and evil. The Force, Star Wars has always been about the Force and the Sith, right? The Jedi and the Sith, there's like this good and this evil, and Rey is fighting between it. But then here comes Finn trying to water down what the Force is. I mean, the Force is supposed to like flow in Jedis, right? And it's kind of like this thing, this what Christians would call the Holy Spirit. The greatest example of that. Yo, ever evangelizing, you're like, you know the Holy Spirit? No, I don't. Do you know the Force? I do. You know the Holy Spirit. Okay? Like, come on, somebody. Use that. Use that for evangelizing, okay? So Finn is trying to say, like, you know, it's a feeling. You know it's not a feeling, okay? A feeling can't throw walls and objects at walls without even touching it. That's not a feeling. That's called the Force, all right? I'm sorry. It's still fresh. I watched it yesterday, okay? Like, or I watched the first time recently, okay? And thing about that I love about Disney, it's kind of like a love-hate relationship, right? Disney's taking over the world, but it's kind of cool, but at the same time kind of sucks because they're like cutting out my Spider-Man and things like that, and it's kind of like you hate it or you love it, you know? It's quality versus quantity, honestly. Like with Disney has great quality, but a lot of times like either the quantity's off or the quality's off or whatever you want to say. But one of the things I was a little bit unnecessary for me, tell me what you think, honestly, is now in the age that we live in, I feel like movies are now like political movies. When it's Star Wars, right? Star Wars has never been political. Like, I don't know, Rey wasn't Republican when I last looked at it, right? She wasn't like, look, I don't want to be Jedi because I'm going to build this wall right now. I'm going to throw you over it. You hear that, Sith? I'm going to throw you over it. Okay, she's not, okay? And then probably, I don't know, Palpatine's a Democrat? I don't know. I don't think so, by the way. I don't think that. But it's not a political movie. But now I feel like this new thing about social justice, right? Where everyone needs to like virtue signal, like I'm a good human being because I talk about woke things. Are you serious? Like I didn't pay money to watch you talk about woke things. Like I live. Like I actually have a life. I don't know about y'all, but like your life you should communicate with people and know that, but I don't need to go to Star Wars and tell me how woke they are about their current topics. For example, it got controversy on both sides, right? And there was a moment where two women kiss, right? It's like a lesbian kiss. And it's interesting because it's kind of like fast, but it's not fast, but it's not slow, but it's slow. It's kind of awkward in the sense that they're like celebrating, right? And they extend the celebration. You feel like the celebration is over, but no, it's more of a pat in the back. It's more of a like, hey, I know I already said congrats, but congrats again, because here comes this fourth scene that we kind of have to put in the movie because we woke. All right, so wait up. And okay, think about this, and maybe you might disagree with me, and that's completely fine. Like, I want everyone who watches this to agree or disagree with me. That's totally fine. But the thing about that scene, it was kind of like it was long enough where if you're a parent and you disagree with that and you think that is a sin, or not even a sin, but you think that's not necessary and things like that, it's long enough where now you got to tell your kid what that was about. A girl's got to be like, wait a minute, girls aren't supposed to kiss each other, but that was long enough where now you got to explain your kid what that was about. But at the same time, that was short enough where the LGBTQ plus, I don't know what they've added, but that, where they won't be satisfied. They just won't be satisfied. It was not long enough. It needed to be longer. Put another character in there. You see, there is this turmoil. That's why I think movies get out of the wokeness. Get out of the political correctness. Just get out of that and just play a movie about Star Wars. Like you're telling me, I love, there's a lot of people that I listen to and this one guy's like, dude, it's Star Wars. It's a galaxy. I don't know if there's lesbians in the galaxy or they're straight. I don't know. It's a freaking galaxy. Far, far away. Why do we have to apply things that are going on Earth and try to apply them in a galaxy far, far away? Oh, yeah. Think about this. I'm just saying, this is a thought. Apparently, we now woke, right? Like, back in the day, they ain't woke. They don't know what a social justice is. They don't know what gay rights are and all that. Back in the day, they were very oppressive in our history. Not just America, supposedly, but all the world was very oppressive. Here's my question. If being ancient is not being woke enough, then Star Wars is a long, long time ago. So they ain't woke yet. So why are you putting that scene? They ain't woke yet. Come on, Disney. They ain't woke yet. I mean, that's my opinion. But here's what I appreciate, and this is what we're going to talk a lot about this show. You're going to disagree with me, and you're going to agree with me in a lot of things. But that's what conversations are all about. It's about agreeing and disagreeing and saying, I don't know if I agree with that, but let me look into that. I'm going to say things that maybe are different from your viewpoint. And then maybe you have things that I've never thought about, or whatever the case may be. But my thing I have the right to state my opinion. You have the right to state your opinion. But at the same time, we should be able to have a conversation where maybe in some things I'll change your mind, but maybe in some things when we talk, and I might disagree on some points, but maybe you'll change my mind on some things, right? That's what conversation is about. Because as we saw in previous episodes, is not your truth, is the truth, right? You're not Peter Parker here with your truth and saying, you know what? I don't care what you say. I have got my truth. That's lovely. That sounds cute. That sounds like woke. Yeah, okay. I do have to say, like, a British accent makes everything cooler, but you can't say woke in a British accent. Like, yo, that's like woke. You know, like, that's woke. No, that sounds like proper. Like, well, is that a cup of tea? Are you drinking woke today? No, I'm not. Are you drinking woke? No, I'm not. Yo, if you're probably from England, you're laughing at my accent so bad because I don't know what accent it is. But I feel like, dude, you gotta be woke. Like, that's the way you gotta say it. Like, you're woke, dude. That's your woke. And the thing about the British accent, have you ever thought about that? Ray has an amazing British accent. And Darth Sidious. Take Darth Sidious, for example. Imagine if he had like not a British accent. It'd be lame. The dark side flows in you, Ray. Nah, but if you put a British accent, the dark side flows in you, Ray. It's all about the... Like, that's what a British accent does. I don't know if you if you agree with me or you don't agree with me, okay? But all in all, Star Wars movie, I liked it. It was entertaining. It was entertaining. I thought it had some kind of force messages in there because here's the thing, yo, and this is about life. Remember, we talk about life in this. So we're not, this is not just a movie review. This is about life. Thing about that is what this Star Wars used to be is something that's a fantasy. Fantasy out there, but that has core elements like love, like friendship, like unity, like hope that we relate with. You know, maybe you've been in a harsh moment and you look back and you're like, what would Rey do in this moment? She would get up. That's right. That's what Star Wars is all about. To lift you up in those hard moments. When people may say you can never get up, but you're like, you dang wrong. I'm Rey, and I will get up with a British accent. That's the only way you can get up is with a British accent, okay? I do have to say that the actor for Kylo Ren, he's pretty cool. He's an ex-Marine. I don't know if you knew that. He's actually a veteran. That's really cool. I watched a TED Talk. Check it out. Cool TED Talk about what he's doing right now. And improvements of the movie, honestly, the one thing is, my whole family can tell you this, I felt like the movie, and there's a reason I'm telling you about this, felt a little rushed from the beginning. It's like boom, 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 boom. It's just like, it was a lot of cut moments, you know? It's like all of a sudden it's like, hey, we're out, saving the world, it's over. Think about this. There are characters, they were burning each other like every other sentence. It's like, rough landing, I've done worse, I've seen better. It's like, okay, that was unnecessary. Like, why are you burning me like 3 times in a row? You know, like rough landing is a burn. But then I'm gonna counter that like, I've done worse, I've seen better. You've seen better rough landings? What are you talking about? Like the whole ship is dead and everyone's dead in it? Like, or I'm trying to remember other burning moments, but it was just like, are you here? No, I'm not. Yes, you are. It's your mom. What? You know what I mean? Like, okay, when Kylo Ren or Ben is with his dad, right? And there's a vision. I know that's like, you're a dream. You're a dream. I am your dream. It's like, what the heck is going on in this place? That's completely crazy. So I honestly, I want to encourage you. And you might be thinking, what in the world can I take away from this thing? You know, here's the thing. A couple of improvements about Star Wars. We're going to bring it home. We're going to bring it home, talk about life through Star Wars. Check this out. You'll be surprised of what you can learn. You see, the whole idea of the Force is that there's kind of this good and this evil. We can actually see that in the world. I don't know if you can, but there is some pretty real evil in the world. I mean, you might try to deny it and say, I don't like to call it evil. I just like to call it bad decisions. Okay, fine. Call it bad decisions, but they're bad decisions, okay? Like, maybe this is a little strong, but things like murder, things like rape, that's evil. You cannot excuse that in one way. That's completely evil. There are evil things. There's theft, there's killing, there's terrorism. There is evil in the world. But at the same time, you and I can agree that there is good. There is good in the world. We know that there is good in the world. If not, what's the whole point of charity? What's the whole point of actually doing good things and helping each other? Because there is a good and there's an evil. But I'm going to pop you a quick question here, just like a Pop-Tart. Pop-Tart. Pop question. How do we know why something's good and something's evil? Unless we have a definition for it, right? Think about that. If we don't have a definition of what's good and what's evil, it's like Rey and Finn. If we just call it a feeling, your feeling is different than my feeling. What was that? I don't know. It's a feeling. He didn't have a British accent, so it didn't sound so cool. Even though he is British, again, way to go, guys. Like, I feel like we suck at British accents. Like, my British accent is a combination of American, Mexican, and who knows what. That's about it. All right. So when I have it, hello there. I might sound good, but at the same time, I may go this. Like, it doesn't work. But I feel like British people can be like, oh, yeah, I'm British all the way. Yeah. And then I'm totally American. I'm like, what in the world? How'd you do that? I for real thought Tom Holland and Spider-Man was American. Like, I could promise you. Then I watched an interview, and I was like, what in the world? This guy has such a strong accent, and he talks like this all the time. If you're Tom Holland watching this, dude, I'm sure that's not how you talk, but all respects, kudos. You're amazing. Okay, that was weird. So think about good and evil. It's not just a feeling. It's not like just the Force that they say. It's just a feeling. It's actually real. It's actually real. And I want to encourage you, like today, whenever you're listening to this, is think that if good is real and evil is real, that means that you can actually make a difference. You can actually make a difference with good things. Because if there's no good, there's no evil, who cares? Who cares how you live? It doesn't matter anyways. But if there is good and there is evil, that means that the good that you do does stop some evil. It does. You see, Martin Luther King Jr. once said that all it takes for evil to prevail is for good men to do nothing. That's all it takes. That's all it takes. Now you might think, man, that took a turn from Star Wars. Well, that all depends if good and evil is just a feeling like Finn says, the Force says. It's not. It's not just a feeling. And here's the other thing. The other thing that I want you to take away from this is that just like the movie, a lot of times it can feel rushed, right? And if you haven't watched it, watch it and tell me what you think. Tell me if you felt like it was rushed, okay? Second time around, I thought it was great. But first time around, I was like, what's going on right now? Is this the first Star Wars I've ever watched? I was a little bit lost. There is a danger. Well, I just went deep. Check this out. There is what you could call it. There is a danger when you're talking about speed. When you go too fast, what happens? You miss things. I want you to know that. You thought I froze and I forgot what I said. No, I'm gonna say it again. Look at me. Yes, you. It's very deep. When you go too fast, I'm going to tell you a little story. The place where I grew up, I ran too fast. I tripped, I fell, I got hurt in the story. You go too fast, you forget things. There's a t-shirt that says, it's only funny till someone gets hurt. Then it's hilarious. You've got to be honest, it's actually pretty funny. It's pretty funny when someone gets hurt. Unless it's you. It's not. It's not funny then. In all reality though, whenever we try to speed through things, because here's the thing about Star Wars. I love it and everything, and I felt like it was a little rushed. And a lot of times, the reason it was rushed is because it was not the same director. It was not the same director that did the second one and the last one. Here's the thing. When you have one director doing the movie, you can pace things out. I'm going to throw this out there, but did you actually know that you do have a choice of what you do today? Of what you will do tomorrow. You had a choice of what you did yesterday. No one's ultimately controlling you. You want to blame it on people, but you can't. You can't. And you're in control of the speed. You're in control if you're going to try to rush through things and not actually, and okay, this is not about enjoy the moment. Be present. Never forget. Grow. Do it. No, okay? It's not that type of message. What I'm trying to tell you is that you control the speed of what you go things. And actually, if you rush things, you're actually not going to enjoy things. And this is what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about just the good moments. I'm talking also the hard moments. I'm talking about the moments that kind of make you grow. I'm going to give you an example. Hey, if you're in school, don't rush it. You're like, dang it, I can't be Star Wars when I'm in school and just rush through all those scenes. No, enjoy it. Because look, a plant grows and it will take time. It will take time. You can't get away from it. It will take time. My question is, if you want to grow, if you want to be a better you, and you want to be you, boo, take your time. Control it. Blossom. Be a flower, not just a leaf.